Speaker, it is my endeavour to pursue this in right earnestness. It is our target that bulk of our future projects will be financed through PPP mode, including the high-speed rail, which requires huge investments. Madam Speaker, apart from mobilizing resources, I also need to strategically manage other aspects of railway planning and administration. To meet this end, I propose the following initiatives. Near plan holiday approach, prioritizing and setting timelines for completion of ongoing projects, devising a mechanism for raising funds for rail infrastructure, decision support system for project implementation, strategic partnership and transparency in procurements, aggressive indigenization of imported products, adopting safety standards, matching international practice, and setting up a simulation center to study cause of accidents, encouraging development of wagon leasing market. Now, Madam Speaker, let me place before this August House the financial performance of 2013-14. Since presentation of interim budget and passing of the vote on account on February last, financial positions has undergone a change. Madam Speaker, Railway carried 1,050.18 million tons of freight. Goods earnings were short of target only by rupees 94 crore. Originating passengers also were less by 46 million over revised target, and passenger earnings were short by rupees 968 crore over the revised budget. Overall, though the gross traffic receipts grew by 12.8% to reach rupees 1,39,558 crore, it was short of revised target by rupees 942 crore. On the other hand, ordinary working expenses stood as rupees 97,571 crore, which was in excess by rupees 511 crore. Appropriation to pension fund has to be stepped up to match the actual outgo. As a result, instead of ending the year with the surplus of rupees 7,943 crore, the surplus was actually rupees 3,783 crore. That is a shortfall of rupees 4,160 crore. This is after fulfilling the dividend commitment of rupees 8,010 crore. The internal resource generation for plan in 2013-14 was rupees 11,710 crore as against revised target of rupees 14,496 crore. This is short by rupees 2,786 crore. In 2013-14, there was a decline in traffic growth as compared to the revised projects. Expenditure, however, shot up and was more than what was estimated. The operating ratio deteriorated by 2.7% over the revised target to touch 93.5% by the end of 2013-14 fiscal. So far, our plan expenditure for 2013-14 is concerned, it fell short of revised target of rupees 59,359 crore, mainly due to non-materialization of PPP targets. Madam Speaker, now I proceed to present before the House the budget estimates for the year 2014-15. Anticipating a healthier growth of economy, I hope to achieve total receipts of rupees 1,64,374 crore, and I would peg total expenditure at 1,49,176 crore. I anticipate freight traffic growth of 4.9%, amounting to 1,101.25 million ton, an increment of 51.07 million ton over 2013-14 based on trends in the first 2 months. I also anticipate a small growth in the passenger traffic over 2013-14. Earnings from freight traffic are estimated at rupees 1,05,770 crore and from passenger traffic rupees 44,645 crore. The fare revision, which came into effect from 25/6/2014, has provided railways a much-needed respite, however little it may be. As I have considered the request of the suburban passengers for revision of monthly season tickets, the revenue forgone on this account would be around rupees 610 crore. Here, I may point out the periodic revision in passenger fare and freight rates, as approved by this August House, will be linked to revision in fuel prices in order to insulate the railway revenues from fuel cost escalation. Madam Speaker, out of total expenditure, the ordinary working expenses have been proposed at rupees 1,12,649 crore, which is rupees 15,078 crore higher than 2013-14. This has been necessitated by fuel price hike and increase in staff costs. Pension outgo in 2013-14 had grown by about 16%. Keeping the same trend, provision for pension is kept at rupees 28,850 crore. Madam Speaker, I thank the Finance Minister for extending additional budgetary support of rupees 1,100 crore as capital and rupees 273 crore as railway share from diesel cess for important road safety works. Largely owing to this measure and to the additional resource mobilization efforts, I propose to increase the plan outlay under budgetary sources to rupees 47,650 crore, which is higher by rupees 9,383 crores in 2013-14. A large part of this higher plan outlay goes to safety-related works, which is also a high priority of our government. As I have increased internal resource component of the plan, I propose to scale down market borrowings through Indian Railway Finance Corporation to rupees 11,790 crore. Madam Speaker, time overruns and consequential cost escalations in completion of most of the railway projects have been a chronic worry of railways for years. I propose to provide maximum financial outlays to projects targeted for completion in the current year itself, keeping in mind the priorities and safety. I have ensured adequate allocation for 30 priority works for their timely progress. It is my concern to allocate the available resources to high priority areas like safety, cleanliness, passenger amenities, and capacity augmentation. Madam Speaker, let me now spell out details of the focus areas of this budget. I will first touch upon steps proposed for improving passenger amenities. Indian Railways envisage to provide foot overbridges, escalators, and lift at all major stations through PPP route. Indian Railways would make earnest attempt this year to provide sufficient water supply, platform shelters, and toilets at all the railway stations. Passenger services through private entity. Indian Railways propose to extend service of battery-operated cars to facilitate differently abled and senior citizens to reach any platform comfortably at all major stations. We propose to involve individuals, NGOs, trusts, charitable institutions, corporates, etc. to provide passenger amenities. As Indian Railways serve a lot of business travelers who spend substantial time in travel, in order to add best value to their time, I propose to provide workstations in select trains on payment basis. A pilot project will be launched by this year. Online booking facilities of railway retiring room will be extended to all stations during the course of the year. Madam Speaker, extending passenger-friendly services is the motto of Indian Railways. In this direction, I am expanding the scope of online booking. People can book a train, people can book a coach, people can book a berth, and people can book a seat in the chair car. Catering, Madam Speaker, catering on railways has been a major issue of concern for a long. In order to improve the quality and hygiene of on-board catering services and to provide variety, I propose to introduce pre-cooked, ready-to-eat meals of reputed brands in a phased manner. Further, I sincerely desire to bring perceptible improvements in the catering services by introducing quality assurance mechanism through third-party audit by NABCB certified agencies. In addition to the third-party audit, a system of collecting feedback through IVRS mechanism from the travelling passengers on the quality of food served will be launched shortly. If the service is not to the standard set, especially in hygiene and the taste, severe action will be taken, will be initiated against the vendors, including cancellation of the contract also. Indian Railways also proposed to set up food courts at major stations to provide the option of ordering regional cuisine by while on board through emails, SMS and smartphones, etc. A pilot project will be started shortly between New Delhi Amritsar and New Delhi Jammu Tawi sections. Madam Speaker, cleanliness is next to godliness, said Mahatma Gandhi ji, our beloved father of the nation. Madam, I am aware of the sorry state of affairs of cleanliness in the trains and stations. Railways have been attaching high priority on cleanliness, but it has always been a challenge to maintain the acceptable level of cleanliness owing to the sheer number of passengers handled at the stations. Madam Speaker, I have substantially increased the budget allocation for cleanliness in the current year, which is 40% increase over the previous year. I propose to outsource cleaning activities at 50 major stations to professional agencies and to set up a separate housekeeping wing to have focused attention and exclusive responsibility of maintaining cleanliness and sanitation at stations. Madam Speaker, a corpus fund for upkeep will be set up stations in order to provide enough financial resources to the officers who are entrusted with the responsibility. CCTVs at stations will be used to monitor cleanliness activities. All India level helpline number will be printed on the back of the tickets. System of periodic third-party inspections will be introduced. Further, bio-toilets will be increased in sufficient number in trains in order to mitigate the problem of direct discharge of human waste on the tracks and platform aprons at stations. On-board housekeeping services, currently operational in 400 trains, has received good feedback from passengers. This will be extended to all the important trains. I also propose to increase mechanized laundries in order to improve quality of the bedrolls provided in AC coaches. We will introduce on an experimental basis RO drinking water units at stations and in trains. Reputed and willing NGOs, charitable institutions and corporate houses will be encouraged to adopt and maintain stations for better cleanliness and upkeep. Madam Speaker, safety of passengers is of paramount importance for Indian Railways. It is estimated that over 40,000 crore would be needed to be invested in track renewals, elimination of unmanned level crossing, and construction of road underbridge and road overbridges. I have received a lot of requests from various states for construction of road overbridges and road underbridges. I am making a provision of rupees 1,785 crore for road underbridges and road overbridges in this budget. I would request the concerned state governments to expedite their proposals and pass on their share of cost. I have decided to introduce a system of speedy clearances based on first-come, first-served basis. We intend to standardize designs and make this available online. Delegation of powers shall be done so power of sanctioning is decentralized. Indian Railways have 30,348 level crossings, out of which 11,563 are unmanned. Each unmanned level crossing is being examined in detail, and depending upon the site condition, action will be taken to eliminate it by suitable modality. Indian Railways propose to use modern vehicle-borne ultrasonic flaw detection system to detect rail and weld fractures. In addition, ultrasonic broken rail detection system will also be tried at 2 locations as a pilot project. In order to improve the safety of traveling passengers, I propose to bring in technology for automatic closing of doors before start of train, both in main line and in suburban coaches. A pilot project will be limited. Number of trains will be taken up. In order to strengthen the security of trains at stations, 17,000 RPF constables have been recruited and shall be shortly available for deployment. We also propose to recruit 4,000 women RPF constables. In order to ensure security of ladies traveling alone, special instructions are being issued for their safety in each class of travel. With the introduction of women RPF constables, coaches meant for ladies will be escorted. RPF escorting teams in trains will be provided mobile phones so that passengers can contact them when in distress. Security helpline will be augmented. We will explore the possibility of building boundary walls around the stations through PPP mode. Madam Speaker, I foresee a huge untapped potential in the field of domestic tourism in our country. We plan to take up ecotourism and education tourism in northeastern states. Special pilgrimage centers like Devi Circuit, Jyotirling Circuit, Jain Circuit, Christian Circuit, Sufi Circuit, Sikh Circuit, Buddhist Circuit, and famous temple circuit have been identified. I propose to introduce specially packaged trains for these circuits. Private participation in this area will also be encouraged. One tourist train will run from Gadag, Pandrapur via Bagalkot, Bijapur and Solapur, covering the pilgrim and tourist places of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Another such train will start from Rameshwaram, covering pilgrim and tourist places like Bengaluru, Chennai, Ayodhya, Varanasi and Haridwar. I also plan to run a special train featuring life and work of Swami Vivekananda to inculcate good moral values, propagate the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Madam Speaker, railway reservation system will be revamped into next generation e-ticketing system. Ticket booking through mobile phones and through post offices will be popularized. We will improve the system capabilities in e-ticketing to support 7,200 tickets per minute as against 2,000 tickets per minute and allow 1,20,000 simultaneous users at any point in time. Facility of coin-operated automatic ticket vending machines will be experimented. Efforts will also be made to provide facility of buying platform tickets and unreserved tickets over internet. Parking cum platform combo ticket will be launched to facilitate the passengers and to save their time. Madam Speaker, at this moment, the Railway Board, due to overlapping roles of policy formulation and implementation, has become unwieldy. Therefore, I propose to separate these two functions by restructuring the ministry. Indian Railways has 13.1 lakh staff, most of whom work on the cutting-edge level of providing rail services. It is my duty that they are taken care by providing adequate facilities. In this direction, I am initiating the following. Presently, an amount of Rs 500 per capita is contributed towards staff benefit fund. I propose to increase this amount to Rs 800 per capita. I propose to announce a special scheme for the meritorious wards of railway persons for their outstanding performance in academics and sports. The hospital management information system will be used to integrate all health units, divisional hospitals and central hospitals, as also our empaneled hospitals. Examine feasibility of providing air conditioning in loco cabins and provide AC in running rooms. I am contemplating on setting up of a railway university for both technical and non-technical subjects. We will tie up with technical institutions for introducing railway-oriented subject for graduation and skill development. In the meantime, staff at the ground level will be sent for short duration courses of technical and non-technical nature involving locally available technical institutions. The exposure for specialized areas like high-speed, heavy haul operations, etc. will be undertaken for all level of staff and officers at appropriate institutions in India and abroad.